Are you keen to know how concentrated the Australian Stock Exchange is? Well, I've taken the top 300 businesses as per the Vanguard Australian Share Fund. You can go and download all the holdings in an Excel spreadsheet. I've put that into ChatGPT and I've asked it to provide me some details on what companies, the biggest companies, how much percentage they take up of the market, and this is what I'm going to show you. I'm also going to break it down into the sectors, and then I'll show you the two biggest sectors, which is the financials and materials, and the companies, the big companies within those sectors, and to show you how much they dominate and concentrate the sectors. So what I'll do is we'll get to overlay obviously the charts themselves, and the first one you're looking at here is where we're looking at the index as a whole to say, for the index, which is the top 300 businesses, that the top 10 businesses within that, the top largest businesses, they're around 45% of the whole index itself. So I'm looking around at some of the details that we're putting up on the screen for you. The top 25 represent around 63% of the market as a whole, and then the top 100 is sitting around 88.5% or thereabouts, which leaves just a mere 11 point something percent for the last 200, from company 100 to 300. Then if we cruise around and go and look at what sectors are really dominating, we can confirm that the financials, and this is nothing particularly new, but financials dominate our market. So we're talking about 4 very large banks, Macquarie Bank and some other businesses as well, that they represent around 33%, and around 21% is the materials. So again, very huge amount of concentration into 2 very small sectors. And then if we cruise around here, I'm looking at another graph which is on the screen, that within the financial sector, it's over 70% of the financials. 70% is dominated by 4 businesses, and I bet you can guess which ones those are. It's CommBank at 10%, then you have ANZ, NAB and Westpac. And when we're looking at the materials, again, if we're looking at the top 4 there, which is probably around 13% or a bit over 50% of that sector itself. It's dominated by 4 very large players, but the biggest there is BHP by a mile, Rio, Fortescue, and also Northern Star Resources, which is a gold miner that's been extremely successful in recent times. So this is one of the reasons why I prefer to be more global in my thinking. I'm not chasing businesses just because they've got a high dividend yield or anything like that. I'm looking for the right sectors, the right businesses, hopefully within those sectors, regardless of dividends and regardless of where they are. That I believe that our big 4 banks, for example, they play within our sandpit of Australia, and they've done particularly well, since they floated in the 90s. But when we compare that to the concentration in the US, where you've got the Magnificent 7, we're talking about Meta and Microsoft and Amazon and Nvidia and so on, that these are truly global companies that have monopolies and therefore pricing power. So we like to invest globally as much as we can, knowing that the Australian Stock Exchange as a whole represents around 1.9% of global markets. So yeah, think more globally, look abroad for high quality businesses, and diversification is key, but finding the right sectors and the right businesses within those sectors is also just as important, rather than focusing solely on high dividend yields or fully franked businesses. Thank you for listening. Please remember this is general advice and also my opinion, but thanks for listening. Cheers.